The month of January is National Human Trafficking Awareness Month. 90 Your Side has been covering several events throughout the month related to the problem. Many towns and cities across the East making their own proclamations, bringing awareness to human trafficking in our area. Some of those locations include Jacksonville, New Bern, Greenville, Farmville, and others. And we wanted to dig deeper on this issue. WNCT's Courtney Allen's been gathering more information on human trafficking here in the East, and Courtney joins us with more.
Ken, Shayla, North Carolina is ranked 8th in the nation for highest reported numbers of human trafficking. In 2018, the State Bureau of Investigation found more than 32,000 ads of potential human trafficking victims right here in the East. Tonight, we are hearing from survivors, law enforcement, and agencies working to eradicate this issue.
My exploitation started at 3.
Many victims of sex trafficking are abused as children.
My birth father ended up in prison, and my mom ended up using drugs.
Their parents may already have a drug addiction,
so they placed me into foster care.
Kids in the foster care system are looking for somebody to love them.
Here I was just wanting to be wanted, craving that attention, and they gave it to me.
Home for young Lainey George was a mix of sorts. Bars, strip clubs, and in and out of foster care.
My mom started being trafficked when she was 16. So literally my school bus at 3rd and 4th grade dropped me off at my mama's strip club. And I worked out of my mom's strip club until I was about 12. Ended up back in foster care, and then within a year I was trafficked out of my foster care.
She was trafficked by strip club owners and then out of her own bedroom by someone her foster parents trusted, around 15 years older than her.
This gentleman, I truly believed he cared for me, and that I was doing this because I loved him and he loved me, and that was up until I was 17.
After escaping the situation, she vowed to never speak of what happened again until she was in her 30s.
I remember laying there and crying out and going, God, either you let me die or you heal me.
The healing process for George is now helping other victims become survivors. She works with non-governmental organizations to eradicate human trafficking.
Many people really aren't very aware of what human trafficking really is.
ENC Stop Human Trafficking Now raises awareness about the issue. Community Outreach Coordinator Melinda Sampson.
Compelling somebody to work or perform a commercial sex act through force, fraud, or coercion. Even less people understand that if a child is performing a commercial sex act, then they are automatically victims of human trafficking, and force, fraud, or coercion need not even be proven.
Sampson says coastal waterways, tourism, and large arenas in our state are all factors that contribute to the prevalence of trafficking.
There's I-95 and I-85, and there's also I-40. Also, the prevalence of truck stops in that corridor kind of lends itself to an increase in demand for sex trafficking.
Tracy Klein with True Justice International helps human trafficking victims throughout the East. The nonprofit holds a safe house in New Bern.
We have a restoration home that we provide for girls so they can get, it's up to 2 years.
They have a 100% success rate of girls completing the program and not returning to trafficking. They're opening another safe house in Jacksonville.
In Jacksonville, there is a large drug population, and drug addictions go hand in hand with human trafficking, and of course there are 5 strip clubs there. Jacksonville is one of the circuits that a lot of the girls are taken: Fayetteville, Greenville, Jacksonville. Those are kind of the larger areas. Jacksonville and Fayetteville obviously more because you have the large military presence there, and then of course Greenville, you have a large it's a college place.
Because of our university here, the traffickers prey on young ladies. They try to get them hooked on certain drugs.
Chief Deputy Chauncey Congleton says the Pitt County Sheriff's Office receives trafficking tips all the time. They monitor the internet and do sting operations to put the people buying sexual favors behind bars.
Concentrate on the Johns because of supply and demand. You cut the demand off, start prosecuting some of the Johns, that would in turn slow down the sex trafficking.
As for the pimps, it's more likely for one of them to be struck by lightning than convicted due to victims not self-identifying or not cooperating with law enforcement.
I got to go back in 2011 to that same strip club and help rescue my mom out of that strip club who was still being trafficked.
Lainey works with law enforcement to bring survivors home.
While I didn't have the courage at 17, I definitely have the courage now to look into the face of another woman who's filled with shame or has gone through this and go, I know that you're worth it, and I know that you're capable to walk through this healing, and I'm willing to walk alongside you.
The people we spoke with hope that raising awareness will help bring in more tips, as it is a very underreported crime. While certain populations are more susceptible to being trafficked, it can happen to anyone. Here are some things to look out for in your community. Branding marks on women. An older man with younger women, sometimes speaking for them. The women with the man not speaking to you, turning or looking away, and men offering money or favors even if a sexual exchange is not brought up initially. It's also important to be aware of online posts and hashtags, as a lot of trafficking is hidden in plain sight on social media and dating apps. Courtney Allen, 9 on your side.